So ChatGPT, for example, open system, right? So it is a violation of 1.6, the confidentiality rule, to put client confidential information into ChatGPT.
Right.
Why? Because it's trained on the information that's put in, and so it's not, you are releasing that information. Mm-hmm. Now, a closed system like VLEX, for example, is a product that does really incredible things, and it is entirely closed, right? It doesn't learn based on the information that you're putting in. It's not going to put out information that you've put in for a client for somebody else at another law firm, for example.
Right.
But it allows you to do things that are hugely helpful. It allows you to review large numbers of documents to find patterns, right? Tagging things that a lot of junior associates spend a lot of time doing that are sort of ripe for human error. Looking at a contract and finding all the provisions in a contract that relate to a non-disclosure agreement, right? And in a 200-page contract, like what's better? If I had to bet, is a lawyer better, or is AI better at going through a massively long document and identifying any times there's an inconsistency? I might actually put my money on AI because and lawyers, it depends on how you're working a long day. If you're tired, right? Not every hour is the freshest hour that you have. So, but if you're using a closed system, it's in terms of confidentiality, I don't really see questions. I don't see landmines if it truly is a closed system in the way that like Westlaw, Lexis, closed systems, right? And lawyers rely on them all the time. Open systems absolutely don't want to be putting in confidential client information, but great for idea generation when you don't input that confidential information. The supervisory obligations is really what I was talking about, like that you can't abdicate responsibility for the middle portion of doing that legal work because you have to supervise it so closely that essentially you're really doing the meat of the legal analysis, because everything that it gives you, you have to check if it's accurate with respect to things like, identifying cases, identifying legal arguments. But do you have, with something like document review, what we have talked about in the various committees about sort of what is the standard is coming up with a sample and saying, I'm going to feed this to AI, see what AI gives back to me. I'm going to do it myself and I'm going to compare. And if I get comfortable enough that in my sample size, it's done a good job, there is a point at which I can rely on it for future things.